All right, last one here. Last box opening I'm probably gonna do. Uh, pack one foil again. White Knight, Cats, Purple Knight, good and limited. Ball Lightning. Shoot a projectile. It deals 4 damage on impact, then changes direction. Next impact deals 2, then changes direction, and final impact is 3. 5 mana gets you 6, 7 damage across some other stuff. So it could be a interesting kill spell. Throw this at your minion and then shoot him down. Like Ball Lightning could be an interesting finisher for sure. A treetop hideout. Make sure this is in focus. Genesis, you may give stealth to a nearby allied minion just on a land. Seems really good. Also, gorgeous artwork. Bog, Grain Sparrow. Like these are all good ordinaries. Merged Formants, 7/6 Burrowing Submerged, a big old house in limited. Will win you more games than you will expect, just because the removal in this set is not so overpowered. Snowball, apparently Snowball's good, but I just 5 mana for maybe killing something, but not all the time seems interesting. Maybe one in a sealed pool. Face City. Tap an ally fairy here, shoot a projectile, deals 1 damage. Maybe there's some shenanigans you can do with like a lethal or poisonous dagger or something, or lethal damage, but seems meh. Sir Limerick, 4 mana, fire, 2 air, 4/3. Deathrite, strike each enemy nearby. Play this on your second site, attack in, or even off to the side, attack, and they try to kill it. If their avatar's within nearby of this guy, it just deals 4 through them, which is just an annoying thing to deal with. I think in constructed you'll just bury it, but in limited it seems really good. Grievous Insult. The family cycle is going to be great in limited. Lookout is going to be a huge constructed card, I think. Just knowing what your opponent's about to do is really, really good. Joust. I was watching Experience Share's recap of his tournament win, and Joust, I guess I didn't really understand how good this could be, but it's 3 mana, 1 fire. An ally targets an enemy that they're adjacent to, then they both take a step to swap places. If they pass each other, they fight. So if you have a 4-power minion or something, and you switch spots, it doesn't tap your minion, so it's kind of like grapple shot where you can attack afterwards. So I think Joust is going to be a good removal in this set. And then Lake, I think 4/3 lethal submerge, but that lethal is going to be huge in this set, especially with there's some of the big beaters and no hard removal. Sugar Plum Pixies, 2/2 airborne. At the end of your turn, untap another nearby ally. Giving something pseudo vigilance is really strong. The airborne is really good, and then limited is about 2/2s with lance, so this could be good. Another Lugbird Cat. Can be cast at any water site, 3/4, 2 water threshold. It's a unicorn in water. It's going to be really good and constructed. Iron Man Talus, 4/3 artifact, can't be disabled or removed by force. Seems okay. The 4 mana for 3/3 power, there's other better 3 or 4 power or 4 mana value minions to be doing, but if you're in a pinch, it seems pretty good. Scape Shifts could be a unique build around in constructed. Limited, I think it has its limitations. What am I doing with my piles here? Sherwood Huntress, 2/2 range, seems fine. Gets rid of their if you have some way to move, you can get rid of their 4/2 knights that had first strike and some other stuff. Kettletop Leprechaun, the Deathrite draw site. Give this guy a lance beat in. If he dies, cool, and you get to draw a card. But 2/2 in this format seems better than Alpha Beta. And then another family. Lead Astray is forced movement. You probably can play one of these in your limited deck and be happy with it. And then Swindler Trope is a 3/3 for 2 water threshold. Genesis given nearby allied minion stealth. This is just a 3/3 with upside, and a 3/3 is good enough for limited. So it's a very good card. Speaking of that range strike for that 4/2 Knights, Purple Knight is a 4/2 with, or a 3/2 with Lance, so it's a 4/2 first strike. These will be a good minion to have in limited. Giant Killer, kill nearby giant. Could be a good sideboard card if there's like a best of 3 or something, but Degradation, transform a mortal into a foot soldier. Maybe you need one of these in your limited pool just to deal with a random really good minion or mortal. Perilous Bridge. Units can't traverse the site atop the ground, atop border on the ground, so Avatar of Air or other airborne decks can really make advantage of this. Lumbering Giant 4/4/4 is going to be great and limited. I know it can defend or intercept, but you have other smaller guys to deal with this. This is your general beater. Need 2 or 3 of those in your limited deck. Band of Thieves is a 3/3 for 3. Castle Servants is another. I think you can probably want 1 or 2 of these in your splash colors. And then Hider Sprites is playable and limited, especially with a lookout or a couple lookouts in your deck. Hider Sprites is going to be a giant pain in constructed for sure. Banishment, give 3 mana, 2 air threshold, give all allied minions stealth, draw a spell. I think you can play one of these, or you, like, it's, in my mind, this is a better Fade, because Fade is like conditional draw. Banishment is you just draw a spell as long as you have an allied minion. Seems pretty cool. Beacon is a really good tower. This could provide 3 mana, and just if there's 2 nearby enemies, and really ramp you into something scary. Pigs of Sounder is a 3/3 for 3. I think that's how you play this card, especially in limited. I don't know how good the pig dex is going to be in constructed. Pendragon Banner, nearby allies have +1 power while there are no enemies here. This would be great for like a border militia, or there's a couple cards in this set that summon a bunch of foot soldiers. So Pendragon might be really good in that kind of style of deck. Rescue, maybe 1 in your limited deck to get back your big bomb. Thankless Squire, it seems not great. Vikings, 5 mana, 2 fire, 4 mana or 4 power. Tap, deal 2 damage to each unit atop adjacent location. There's a lot of 2/2s in this set, so Vikings can deal with those efficiently. Also, just being 4 powers is really good. And then Burning Hands is another part of the removal suite in this set, with all the 2 powers running around. Burning Hands looked kind of underpowered when first looking at the set, but in context, it seems pretty good. Hunting Party, 4 mana, 3 power, ranged enemy, nearby enemies lose stealth. Kind of cute. Just when you're overpaying mana for power, you really need a good effect. I don't think this is going to be good enough to be like constructed playable. I see a foil. Sword and Shield. Put this on a 3/3. You have a 5 power unit. Seems really good. I think 1 or 2 of these in your sealed pool or limited or draft or whatever can do really well. Tooth Fairies are a 2/2 flyer airborne. At the start of your turn, tap target nearby enemy. Seems really good tempo, and just throwing a wrench into your opponent's gears. There's no violence or kobolds in this set, and Tooth Fairies I think will stick around easier than and a 2/2 in alpha and beta. That seems like a really good exceptional. Dame Beaumont is a 5 mana 1 air, 1 earth, 2 water for a 3/5 with lance. So it's a 4/5 when it comes in with first strike. If Dame Beauregard successfully attacks an enemy site, she may summon a mortal from your cemetery to her location instead. I think this is probably going to be more constructed playable. Possibly if you have a lot of mortals in sealed, you could, or draft, you could kind of make this work, but it's a fine minion. Black Knight foil. 5 mana, 1 fire, 1 water, 5/3. Costs 2 less to cast if you have more life than each opponent. So it could be a 3 mana 5/3, which just seems bonkers. So that seems pretty good and at least limited. Shameless Squire it's a 3/2, or it's a 3/1 or 3 mana 1/1 with lance, so 2/1. Genesis, tap target nearby enemy. It drops everything it's carrying. Could be kind of cute. I think it's just kind of small for minion base. I think in this set you at least want a base 2/2, like anything less than that. Maybe Sly Fox can get around that, but I think you want at least 2 power. Troll Bridge is a great kind of free city style site, so this is going to be a good one. Verdant Knight is a 3/2 for 3, and it has lance, so it's a 4/2 first strike. Can really trade up, and that's what it's probably going to be used for. Lava Flow, 5 mana, 2 fire threshold. Lava flows from the casters in a cardinal direction, deal damage to each other unit occupying a site in an affected area. 5/4/2, like you tap, move up. This could be a kill spell. It's a little awkward where originating at the caster, but could be usable. Salmon of Knowledge is a cute draw 3. I think I've spoken about that in some other videos a lot. Tactical Move. I don't really enjoy this card. It doesn't draw a card, and like the movement's really good. Unless you're like getting card advantage by like trading up because of the movement. But Tactical Move might be okay. Maybe 1. I think you would rather have just a 3/3 minion. Harassing Ruffians Unlimited. Units, it's a 3/3 for 3, 2 fire threshold. Units attacked by Harassing Ruffians can't be defended. Put the Sword and Shield on this. You have a 5 mana, can't be defended attacker. Like, yeah, no, it's really good. Blue Cap Knockers, 3 mana, 3/3 for 2 threshold. Burrowing Blue Cap Knockers site can't be just moved, destroyed, or modified. Turns things into pet rocks. I think in limited, you're playing it for a body, but in constructed, you might be able to do some shenanigans with this. So here's the other giant, 7 mana, 6/6, 2 earth threshold, Burrowing Submerge. Another beater in limited. Pebbled Paths, removing charge. Second Golden Harp. Sweet. That completes the Golden Harp set. Now, 3 mana artifacts, strike damage and life loss caused by nearby units is reduced to 2. So it doesn't matter how much it is, it's just 2 damage. It seems very interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to play in constructed. Like 3 mana for an artifact is not a small cost, but could be really good for like a more defensive deck. Brown Bears in limited is going to be a premium minion, just for 4/4. You just load your deck up with that. Your opponent will have a hard time dealing with it. Koinexi was spoiled a while ago. It seems fine. Water's like force movement hasn't been cracked yet. Impenetrable Copes. Projectiles can't enter this site from the outside. Seems really good to protect from like a final blow. Pukas, 3 mana, 2/2 for 2 fire threshold. Death Right. Each opponent discards a random card. Card advantage if you can trade with something and they have to discard. Seems really good. Love Potion. I think this is my 3rd Love Potion. 6 mana artifact. Bearer has sacrifice. Love Potion. Gain control of target nearby minion and here until this unit leaves the realm. So if you play this on your avatar, it can't leave the realm, but Love Potion can be really good. 6 mana is expensive, though. Move a little faster here. The families are good. Bog, Genesis until your next turn. Units are immobile while atop nearby sites. It could be a great delay card, kind of akin to Quagmire. And Quagmire is a great include in Earth decks. Black Knight, spoke about that earlier. An elite site, Wedding Hall, provides no mana, but if King Arthur and Guinevere start your turn here, you win. I don't know if that's ever going to be like a win condition, but the 4 mana or the 4 threshold it provides could be good for some decks, especially like a Knight's heavy threshold deck. Red Crep Prowess, 3/3 for 3, and it has charge, but if hasn't attacked by the end of your turn, they die. Put this in Flame Collar, and who cares if they die? Babbling Brook, Genesis until your next turn. Minions hero disabled while atop nearby sites. It's a better Quagmire. Disabled is better than immobile, just barely, but it is. And then Wyvern, Wyvern's a great minion. Oh yes, Sir Tom Thumb. This is my first Sir Tom Thumb. 2 mana, water, 2 air for a 2/1. Maybe carried by any beast. Deathrite, return to hand. So it just keeps bouncing. You keep playing it. It just is really annoying to deal with. I think Sir Tom is going to be a sneaky card to deal with in constructed and limited. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but it's a unique foil. Bearer strikes first, Bearer strikes first and has tapped. Throw Rongmana, and as a piercing projectile, it deals 3 damage to 1 unit at each location along its path, giving something first strike just consistently. Like, this doesn't break after it attacks, so that could be really good. Heck yeah. Unique foil. Can never be mad at that. Shelly Coat, I think in limited, is going to be a really good minion too, because it has pseudo... What's the thing that reduces damage by 1? I can't remember. But it's a 2/2 for 2. Submerge, takes 1 less damage. So you need to deal 3 damage to this to kill it in 1 instance. Like Firebolt or Magic Missiles doesn't work against this because it'll reduce that 1 damage to 0. Shelly Coat is going to be an annoying minion to deal with in limited. That pack just fell apart. Bailey, that's 3 mana monument. Enemies can't move here on the ground. Might be good if you're playing against a non-airborne deck, but man, 3 mana for a monument might be too much in constructed. Maybe you can do some shenanigans in limited. Knighthood is, I still don't know how good Knighthood. It asks a lot to be usable. Castle Haunt, maybe cast it in any elite or unique site. Dies if it leaves its summoning site. 3 mana, 4/4. It does have a restriction. I definitely see this as more of a constructed card, but there's just not a lot of elite or unique sites running around in limited. But the Great Drowning of Men, 7 mana, 4 water threshold. At the start of your turn, destroy affected sites and flood the resulting rubble. Then submerge everything atop them. Dispel the Great Drowning of Men. And I think in constructed, if you mix this out on turn 4, you just kind of win the game from there. Especially if you have something you played on 3 and attack in and apply the pressure. But I think in limited, it might be a little too much. Durium Foreman's Foil, 7/6 beater. Very cool. Awesome artwork by Drew Tucker. Yeah. Field Laborers, it's a huge ramp, especially repeatable if it doesn't die. Yep, talked about most of those. Castle Haunt, Sword and Shield, talked about that. Fine Courser, 2 mana, 1 air for a 1/1. Charge movement +1 may carry an ally. This has no power restrictment, so this is almost free movement, even more than Warhorse. It has that extra movement, so that could be, you can do some sneaky stuff with this, I think. We'll see how that turns out. Sir Tristan is a knight or a mortal. 5 mana, 2 air, 1 fire, 1 water. It's for a 2/4. And then once on your turn, Sir Tristan may tap target nearby enemy minion. That enemy does not untap during the next time it would. Its wave shape ability on a minion, it seems awkward to me, but we'll see how it plays out. 5 mana just seems like a lot. And then if you're mixing that out, I don't think it just has the pressure you need to like move the game forward. Ooh, another. Did we get a same foil? Archmagia. We did get. We got a double foil of the same guy. That's hilarious. But Archmagia, I think this is my 3rd one. But tap, player draw sight, banish 3 magic spells in your cemetery, cast a copy of one of them. Seems pretty good. Some card advantage, Death Speaker style. You have to load your deck up with a bunch of magic, and then like burn through them. So, I'm not sure what kind of deck. I guess a burn deck. Valor seems like an awkward or contingent combat trick. It just takes a little bit too much for me to like enjoy to set up. So here's the lookout. An ordinary air sight. Genesis, look at each opponent hands. It's so much like information. Could be really, really strong, especially in constructed. Raiders, 4 mana, 2 air, 2 fire for a 3/3, but it has charge and may be cast at any site without minions. The flexibility it has could be. This is going to be a great constructed card. Blue Knight's fine. Poisoned Well is going to be a great constructed site as well. It just deals so much incidental damage on a land. It's going to be really good. Sealy Court. Yes, my first Sealy Court. 6 mana, 2 water for 5/5. At the start of your turn, each player draws a spell for each fairy in the realm. The fairy deck has some card draw, but that's my first one. So that's awesome. And then some ordinaries. Castle Haunt, Fine Cursor, Shadow Strike. Ooh, got a witch. This is the first witch. I'm pretty sure she is a unique avatar, but she taps or plays or draws a site. Tap, curse target avatar, choose 1. Their spells cost 1 more to cast on their next turn. They lose 2 life, or they have -3 power until your next turn. People have already been brewing with Witch, but we'll see what that shakes out to be. I think the Witch deck it's either a hyper aggressive deck where you're pinging them for 2, or it's a controlling deck that's playing like Pillow Fort, free cities and whatnot, and taxing your opponent's stuff. Babbling Brook, Tooth Fairies, Castle Ablaze. I think this is my second one, so that completes the playset. 3 mana, 2 fire. Conjure atop an elite or unique site. At the start of your turn, destroy this site and minions atop it in Castle Ablaze. Could be okay in constructed. I think the fact it like comes down and then your opponent has an ability to like a turn to deal with it. It kind of negates a lot of it, but the like ramp this out on 2 somehow. Like it just feels slow. Like it comes down on 3, doesn't do anything until turn 4. They move everything off of it, so you spent your 3rd turn removing one of their minions or sites, and I don't know. Cast the Exile, I think, is going to be the premium removal of the set. 2 mana, shuffle a target minion, occupying an allied site into its owner's spellbook. It's just an unsummon that is really good. Sisters of Avalon, 2 mana for a 1/1 spellcaster, but it has Genesis, discard a spell, draw a spell. so maybe you can get some advantage off of discarding that, but it's like card filtering. Oh, the Green Knight. This is a new unique as well. This has been a good box. 6 mana, 3 water for a 3/7. Whenever an enemy can attack the Green Knight, it must. Deathrite, strike target nearby enemy. It seems it soaks up a lot of damage, but eventually they're gonna kill it, and then they have a bunch of minions like on top of your sites. It just feels a little awkward. We'll see how this turns out, but it's really cool card, great artwork. Burning Hands, Shameless Squire. The families are good, and 3/3. Wyvern. Hunting Party. Ribble Bogart is just a straight good minion in water. 3 for 3, already reasonable. At the start of your turn, Bogart gains a random mutation until end of turn, airborne, range, lethal, or +3 power. This just seems like a really good minion, especially in water. Charge. Joust is a good removal. Charge is an interesting one. I think it's going to be fine in like a sorcerer aggressive list because they don't really care about the card disadvantage. It's only half a card to them, but we'll see how it shakes out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foils. Looking for one more. Oh, this is pretty sure this is a true unique Sir. 6 mana, 2 air, 2 fire, 5/3 with charge and lance. So it's a 6/3 with charge. Whenever Sir Pellis kills the strongest enemy minion, draw a card. This seems really good. Even a 6 power minion, this thing kills for free and you draw a card. This is wild. Great unique. And ordinaries. Cold Iron Rod. This is just, I love this artwork. I don't know why. It just seems really cool. 1 mana. Oh, here's our last foil. 1 mana. Fairies here are disabled. Just the theme and flavor is great. Sugar Plum Pixies, red Frisky Red Squirrel. Cursed Land. Whenever another site is played nearby, its controller loses 2 life. This is going to be a great constructed card. If you're in Fire, I don't know why you wouldn't play this. Play this as your 3rd site, left or right, kind of like push your opponent to one side or another. And if it deals them 2, all the better. Lead Astray, ordinary foil. Force movement is always good. It's 2 mana for a 1 water threshold. Choose any number of enemies at target location. They take a step together to another location they're adjacent to. So you could push them into like a bottomless pit if you're playing water. All right. Well, we're back. I'm not sure what I missed there. Cursed Land was our elite for this pack, and then Lead Astray was our 6th and final foil. And then last 2 packs. Sir K, Unique Mortal, is at a elite rarity. 4 mana for a 4/4. It has 2 fire threshold, 1 air, 1 earth. Whenever Sir K targets a weaker minion, he untaps, so he can really like bounce around like a battle mage with Screaming Skull. Warhorse, I think, is going to be a great card in the free movement. It's free movement for a unit, and then it leaves a 2/2 body around, so that's really good. Stone Rain, I still don't know. Oh yes, the unique giant. Rebec's nearby allied giants have charge. This is I'm gonna jam this in something, but I love this. The giant deck is gonna be really cool, I think. Lead Astray and ordinaries, and that's the final box, I think. Thank you everybody for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button. Next week, this should be coming out on Friday, so next week should be a lot of tier lists and discussion of cards, and then the week after that, hopefully some gameplay. Gotta wait until the 17th, though. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you next time.